governance was not well received by increasingly independence-minded political groups, and a heavy hand was used to bring swift order and control. It would be 30 years before the annexation was formally agreed in 1908, and those 3 decades were characterized by struggle for recognition by the varied people of the land, Catholic, Orthodox, and Muslim. It was within the context of this rising tide of nationalism and an increasingly longing gaze for the territory from neighbouring Serbia that Princip was born. Standing amidst the relative opulence of the capital's main street, Princip thought of his home village of Obalai in western Bosnia, sandwiched against the Croatian border and the forests of Herzegovina. Known colloquially as Vukujebina, or the place where the wolves fuck, the people of this wind-swept, desolate landscape were occupied with survival. It was here Princip was raised in acrid poverty. He thought of his father, Petar, a Serbian farmer and postman who struggled to keep his family fed. He remembered his 8 brothers and sisters, 6 of whom died as babies, and his mother Maria's resigned but loving face as she cared for him through yet another illness. Sickly but inquisitive, Princip lost himself in books and set out for Sarajevo aged 13 to get a better education. He remembered that journey now, traversing hills, fording watercourses and crossing farmland, his feet feeling the ghostly aches of a hike that would have taken the best part of a week. Along the way, he met all sorts of people with varied heritage, but sharing a common trait. They were unhappy with their lot in life. They were unhappy with living to survive, with the oppression that comes from being governed by a separate nation-state, and Princip felt this acutely. Princip fingered the cold metal of the 9mm Browning pistol in his pocket and felt the heat radiating from the stone of the 3-story building behind him. Even though it was still early, the sun was bright and the day was going to be warm. To his right, in the distance, he could see the motorcade moving slowly along the crowded street, and he considered what would happen next. One of 6 conspirators planning to murder the visiting Archduke, Princip had been placed in position 5 along the motorcade route, a failsafe in case things did not go to plan. Ahead of him were Bosnian Muslim Muhammad Mekmedbazic and Bosnian Serbs Vaso Kubrilovic, Kvetko Popovic, and Nedleko Kabrinovic. Further up the river by the Kaiser Bridge, Trifko Grabish waited as a 6th man, and leader Danilo Ili, a member of the Serbian nationalist group the Black Hand, looked on. Each had a weapon, a bomb or a gun, and each was ready to take a life for a better Bosnia. Princip wondered how history would remember them after this day. Next to his gun was a vial of cyanide. He had no plans to find out for himself. Turning sharply away from the sun, he caught sight of his reflection in a shop window. A slender teenager with a toothbrush moustache and ill-fitting suit. He didn't stand out in the crowd. He wondered if, after his death, people might flock to his grave the way they did to Bogdan Zeredic, a 22-year-old Serb medical student from Herzegovina who had martyred himself in 1910 for the nationalist cause. Princip himself had spent many nights holding vigil there, thinking about how he could influence what he saw as an ideal goal, a united Yugoslav province. Because, although he was a member of youth collective Young Bosnia, and now was working under the patronage of the Black Hand, Princip longed for a better life for all the Balkan peoples. Suddenly, he heard an explosion further down the street. Dust and smoke billowed into the air along with the screams of bystanders. His chest puffed out, eyes wide with a touch of pride on his lips. "We did it," he thought. "We've assassinated the Archduke for all the Slavic peoples."